All right, to get started with this, I'm going to remove all the trim pieces that we need to remove for this job. First, we've got to get this top one off because there's 3 7mm screws up here that we need to get. If you got a really long screwdriver like this, it's really helpful for getting that off. And then if you have automatic headlights, you will need to disconnect this piece up here for your sun load slash visor. So now you don't have to remove the headlight switch, but I like to because it makes it easier to see the 15mm nut that's back here. So pull that out. This just removes with a screwdriver. There's no screws or anything, or I mean a flathead or any flat thing. So let's just pull that off. You don't even need to disconnect it. I just do it to get it out of the way so I can see that 15 there. All right, and then down here, I'm going to remove the driver's side kick panel because behind here is going to have our 15mm bolt holding the dash on this side. This is just held in by 2 Christmas trees on this side. So you just pull that out. All right. You might need to pull up this sill plate just a little bit to get it out. And then, like on mine, my sill plate's loose enough, I can just pull the thing out. All right, so that's done. And then over here, this thing is held in by a Christmas tree, so you just pull that off. That's got our 13mm behind it. Again, held in by a Christmas tree or 2. You can pop up the sill plate a little bit with your flathead, and then pop out your kick panel. Okay. So down here, 1 7mm holding in the emergency brake release, and then there's another one over here. Now on some cars this might just be a Christmas tree and not a 7mm. Okay, apply that down, get that out of the way. Okay, behind that, on this plate here, is a 10. There are 5 of them. So that plate's out of the way. Next, we're going to remove the 4 13s that are holding the steering column to the dashboard. Two 13s on top. One side or the other, but so that's just this plate right here. We'll get the first 2 of the 7mm on this side. Use a long extension, and you don't even need a U-joint. You can get straight up here to this 15mm. Now this one, I don't want to back all the way out. I'm just going to leave it partially there, and that'll be our pivot point. It also makes it a lot easier to tighten it back down and take down this 15mm on this side. Down here we got the 3 10s for the grounds. There's also a 10mm electrical connector down here. Just back that out. Then there's 3 electrical connectors down here that you disconnect. Now if you have a P71 or a different model car, your connectors might look a little different, but all you got to know is just if there's an electrical connector down here that you can see, go ahead and pull it out. This is a 10mm nut. On some cars that might be an 11. Okay, then you pull the dash away as far as you can. First thing, once you get in here, I'm going to take this VAPS module out. Now if you don't have one of these, that's okay. It got deleted after a certain model year. This also does the rear suspension if your car has it. So this isn't held in by any screws. All you got to do is get something flat in there and then just pry it up out of the bracket, and it's out of the way. So take out the two 8mm bolts or screws in front, and then unplug the connector and tuck it behind here so it's out of your way. Now on some cars you'll have sound deadening here, and some cars you won't. If you do, I like to cut it away here. Doesn't make that much bigger of a difference. It gets in your way and you can actually put it back if you just cut out a square. Also pull this wire bundle away from the sound deadening too. It's easier for you.
That screw out, pull this thing off, switch off and right out.
Now some things that some people have done is cut the ends off of these two, or cut the end off of just the one there, because that one's, the one on the right is kind of the harder one to get to. So you can still clamp the screw down and put it in there, but then it just slides out once you loosen it. So that's your blend door actuator. Okay, the heater core is held on by 3 11mm. There's 2 down here. Now if you plan on doing the heater core and the blend door actuator and you have a U-joint, you can actually get this 11mm out and then take the heater core out with the blend door actuator still attached and then just pull it off. But if you're not planning on doing your heater core, take the blend door actuator off first. That's why I did that. Okay, on the engine side, we got to remove these 2 hoses. If you have these spring clamps and you don't have one of these tools, you can just use a pair of pliers to compress these clamps and shimmy them back a little bit. Gently sliding this back so we don't break the thing, or let it break loose, and then clamp back down. If you have band clamps, obviously just undo the band clamps. Okay. And again, I want to be careful not to pull on this one too hard. Here we go, it's off. So we don't break the intake manifold. And that's it on the engine side. Get the 8mm on the other side here. This is about 1,000 times easier if you're not trying to record it, because the camera is exactly where my eyeballs want to be. But still doable. So just back this 8mm out. Alright, I had to move the camera so I could get in here, because the camera is basically where I want to be, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So anyway, once you get those 3 11mm off, just slowly work the heater core box out from these studs that are right here on the bottom and then on the top, and then gently push the 2 aluminum tubes through the firewall, as you can see with the lights coming through there. And then to get the heater core out, we're going to take the rest of the 8mm off the top. Alright, so there's that one. This top will come off. Heater core out. Okay, so here's your heater core and your blend door actuator. Putting it back together is the same as disassembly, just do it backwards. The one thing I would recommend, since you didn't really see it on there, is take the Christmas trees of that wire bundle that goes along the firewall, take those out, give yourself a little bit more space to two work in there. Also, if you feel like you need to pull the dash further out, there's some more things you can disconnect, but the job is doable the way I did it. So I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.